Zuxeldin, and welcome to Her Story, a show that honors the voices and journeys of women. We're coming to you from Home Basic Interiors. Our location partner, Home Basic Interiors, is a trendy store offering the latest furniture and stylish interior decor, perfect for transforming any space into a modern and elegant haven. Dhechen is a talented Bhutanese designer and entrepreneur behind Dhechen Atelier, a brand celebrated for its unique fusion of traditional Bhutanese craftsmanship with contemporary fashion. Through her work, she empowers local artisans and promotes sustainable, culturally rich designs that showcase Bhutan's heritage to the world. Dhechen, welcome to Her Story. I am very excited to have you here on Her Story. I believe this is your first time giving an interview.
Yes, ma'am.
How are you feeling?
A bit nervous, but I think I'll be fine.
Okay, all right. That's good. I really had to convince Dhechen to come here because she was reluctant, but I am very glad that you are here in front of me to talk about designs,
Yes.
Bhutanese designs, Western influence in the designs that you make.
Yes.
But first, let's go back to when you were a kid.
Yes.
What kind of girl were you?
A very tomboyish girl. I was
Okay.
I was into volleyball.
Okay.
I used to play football, and I was in a boarding school in Dehradun.
Okay.
So yeah, very tomboyish. I didn't know I was gonna go to the designing field, but then I started becoming really artistic when I was in Dehradun. I used to take art classes.
What year? What grade?
When I was in class 7.
Okay.
7 till 12, I was in Dehradun, Doon International School. So yeah, so from there, then I started building an interest towards art. Then in Dehradun, we used to have these different art classes. So from there, I started sketching design, fashion illustrations and all. Then from there,
Wow. Okay. So, class 7,
Yes,
7th
la.
grade.
Yes.
And that is when you knew you were going to do it.
Yes, I like behind my notebooks, I used to scribble. Like I used to make dresses and everything. And I think my dad noticed that. And then after graduating 12, then he said, first I wanted to take law.
Okay.
Then my dad was like, aren't you interested in fashion designing because you keep drawing and everything? Then I was like, oh, maybe I'll try that. Then
He was the one who said that?
My dad was the one, yeah.
Why did you want to do law?
I'm very feisty. Like I like to argue with people and stuff. Yeah, so that's right. Yeah, but then I think from the sketches, I think my dad found out that I was interested. I was more artistic. Even my brother, he's a 3D animator.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
he took 3D animation.
I see.
So yeah, my dad was the one who who asked me to go to fashion designing school. That's how I ended up in Malaysia.
And you took, it's a degree
Yes,
course?
4
How long?
years.
4 years.
Yes.
What did you learn there?
Everything, starting from color, from colors to illustrations to stitching to drawing to everything.
Oh, wow.
In 4 years course, it's a degree.
Did you find the course difficult than you
Oh,
imagined?
yes,
because
ma'am,
you think
yes.
designing, all fun stuff,
Yes,
right?
ma'am. I'm very bad at math, so I thought in designing we won't have math.
Oh.
But there was math because when we do measurements,
Yeah.
it's all math. So it was already there, but it was difficult but interesting day, ma'am, because I wanted to do that. So Hanbindi, so I finished the course.
What? Look, back when you were studying fashion or designing, there was not a lot of future in the country for designers.
Yes.
What made you feel like you could study something, invest money, time, effort into 4 years of that, and come here and make it useful?
At first, when we decided that I'll take designing, that was the first time. My mom was the first one who said, "Bhutan na future mindu develop tela." But then that time, Ajul Hari, Bhutan Street Fashion, I worked with him a little bit, and Chimi House of Design. Yes, la. So I interned with them, and Ajul Hari was the one who said, "Go for designing," because he also did la. So I always tell Ajo that you're the one who told me to go and everything. I always appreciate what he did to me. He was one of my inspirations.
Of course.
Yeah. So then Anale, he said, you go and study, and scope the future na ondo se.
Yeah.
So after 4 years, when I came back, CTK was already in business. So it was a good anila, for me, study beds have now. Then after that, and when I was studying in Malaysia, I worked with some of the designers there. And how they Kongi culture gadebe ani byomaga like they always whatever they used to make, but they used to keep their culture like together.
Intact,
Yes
preserve
la.
it. Oh.
So that's how I wanted to come back and do in Bhutan la. So that's how Dhechen Atelier was born.
And that's what you're doing actually.
Yeah,
Oh.
yes.
Yeah. So now you started in 2017? No,
No,
2021.
21 la,
21. And this is the 4th year,
Almost fifth digit.
5th
yes,
year. Okay.
almost.
How has it been now? How has the 5 years of designing, being a Bhutanese designer been for you?
When I started, Beuchi, COVID hit la.
Oh, yeah.
COVID was there. Then instead of staying at home, we made a business out of that. We started making embroidery face masks.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
La. So from there, I think we sold about 3 lakhs ki masks during the COVID.
Oh my gosh.
And
yeah,
then
right.
office people, they wanted to wear matching face masks with their kiras. So that's how, and then even like if a female customer was allergic to like the lining of the face mask that usually we get in town, they used to come up and say, I get acne with this, can you put a cotton lining or soft lining, because they don't get acne. So from there we started making customized masks as well. Like Dombo, maybe we used to make big masks. So, and then if they wanted like a embroidery analu, we used to do that. That's how I started the business during the COVID.
Wow. Okay. So,
So
it was a boon for you.
yes,
It was
ma'am.
a blessing in disguise.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Oh.
ma'am.
And then thereafter, I should tell you honestly, the first time I heard of Dhechen Atelier was when Tashi Chombo
Yes,
wore that beautiful evening gown
Yes,
for the Miss Universe pageant in
New Orleans.
New Orleans.
Yes.
Okay, yes. So from making masks to that gown, what changed?
I think during in between now we used to make customized gowns for customers and then I think the Miss Bhutan organizer approached and said he wanted to make a design. First, before that, Miss Bhutan contestants na payment. For that also, we made gowns for a few of the contestants here.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Then from there we came to the Miss Bhutan Guyana,
Yeah.
and then after that we I did few illustration sketches baby. Then we gave it to the Tourism Council of Bhutan, and they chose the designs and everything. Then we started making the dresses. Tashi Chombal, actually she was my muse. So
Yeah.
whatever I made, it was for her. La.
You always imagined
Yes,
your
yes.
dresses on her.
So the black gown she was wearing, like Tashi Chombal, she's been a victim of sexual assault ki ani duman. So she wanted something like a phoenix, like coming out,
Rising
like
from the
yes, la,
ashes.
rising from the ashes. That's why we made the gown black, and then we put the phoenix in the middle. La. That's
A
representing
survivor.
her. Yes,
Yeah.
la.
Wow.
So she wanted that.
There was a lot of criticism when this dress was initially premiered or showcased on stage.
Yes, ma'am.
There was a lot of feedback saying this is not Bhutanese,
Yes,
this is not
yes,
Kirate Gogonju.
Amen.
How did you take that?
So basically, when we did the sketches, we had like 5 sketches. La. So we had
Different gowns,
different
okay.
types of gown, but we did some research work as well. La. But Miss Universe Nalu, the traditional round, they don't usually show just the anila gola. They they like add so many things. Like if imagine Miss USA, she won't just come in a dress. They put eagles and everything on top. So we wanted something like that. But then people started saying that it was like a Korean something. But then actually when she did her hand like this, we wanted to show Taksang on one side, and one side it was the thunder. It was the dragon. So we wanted to show that it was the Bhutan is the land of the thunder dragon. So that's what we wanted to represent. And then on the collar we put Kishutara patterns because our kiras are very popular. So that's how. But people didn't take it any criticism at the top.
course.
Yeah, but then I don't mind the criticism. Like that's how we grew.
True.
Yeah, so from there we grew more.
There
I
was
think
a lot
after that,
more
yes.
story to the dress
Yes,
than
la.
what was
Yes,
visually
we never
seen
explained
easily.
the story and all
Yeah.
that. And when people, but then Delishule, I think Mr. Karma, the organizer, he started Anila justifying like we did this.
And it wasn't a dress that you made and they picked and worn. This
Yeah.
dress was selected,
Yes.
went through a lot of
Yes,
filtering
yes, la.
processes. And-
Process.
Yeah,
Yes.
so talking about feedbacks and criticism when you put a dress out there, culturally we are a very restrictive society when it
Yes.
comes to the kokira.
Yes, la.
When it comes to our outfits, we are very conservative
Yeah.
and we are very reluctant to change.
Yes, la.
from us to, I mean, it took us a while to accept the half kira
Yes.
too, which was very comfortable for women, working women. That took so long. My question here is, how do you exercise your creativity in a society where there's a lot of restrictions?
So yes, we initially when we started, I started with mask, and then we went to duffel bags, and then on the duffel bag I used to put zipata. So I had to go to the culture office to ask if I can use the zipata on the, because zipata is usually we find it in the cheshams. So atitidi lagatamela, because when we want to think out of the box,
Yeah.
but nalu culture gi ani pepe, but that's why it was a hard time coming up like with changing the silhouettes and everything. Even for a movie project we got, we had to go to the culture, take my sketches, and we showed them like if this is allowed, and the culture madam said you can do anything on the go, but you can't change the silhouette of the goal because it's not allowed. So then from there, I think culture ya jago bela shani, but from there we come up with new ideas. We keep the silhouette same, but then we started doing embroideries on top and everything.
So I guess it forces you to think
Yes,
out of the box while staying inside the box.
Yes, something like that. Yes,
In the book.
because we don't want to disrupt the culture also, but then we want to think out of the box. So anini balance bego bela. So
As a creative person yourself, what do you love about the Bhutanese female attire?
the kira.
Kira, why is that?
It's not the silhouette, but I think the patterns on the kira. Yeah, that's very now. Like the weavers are coming up with so many designs, and now digitally So I think hemadi they were like simple, and they even write on the kiras and everything. So,
Oh wow! This is where you can exercise your
Y-
creativity
yes,
with the
ma'am,
patterns
yes,
on the kira, but keep the kira.
yes,
as is.
and now even the weavers, when we tell them like, okay, we want a plain kira, but we want only like on the sides, they can do it. So it'll be easier for us to cut it into a dress.
So, as someone who has done this for 5 years now, do you notice any changes in the in how your weavers come up with designs or their creativity?
Yes, ma'am. I think it's changed a lot. Hema the chapter right now, and I can say that because we participated in a competition with RTA. It was the digital textile competition. Like a designer has to choose a weaver partner, and I will digitally design the kiragi pattern and then give it to her, and she'll weave. So my weaver was from Hunti. Her name is Karma Salden. We collaborated in so many projects together. So we came third in that competition.
Wow.
So we made a piece. It was like a peacock and the crane. It has a story inside. The base was green, and then like we had the 4 mandala box, and then we had the peacock and the crane together. So I designed that in the computer, and I sent it to her in Hunti, and then she wove and she sent me back. So, and she's not educated also. So the changes, like you can see, ma'am, like from how like we have come so far.
Exactly. Wow. Let's look at the challenges. As one of the few designers in the country, what kind of challenges do you face?
I think first challenge is the fabric machinagi. We have the hand woven fabric. It takes a lot of time. I mean, we have to use the hand woven fabric as well. It's like sustainable, but then it takes a lot of time to weave, and the customers won't wait that much. And then the other fabrics we have in town, like we don't get everything in town. Like for me, I design gowns. Like we do wedding dresses as well. So when somebody orders wedding dresses, we don't get the fabric here. We have to order from India. So that takes a lot of time. And I think manpower. Everybody's going to Australia, and now any staff. This is a challenge too, like to get like a tailoring and expertise in tailoring. We don't get that easily, So we have to look for Indian people outside because we want to give our Bhutanese people opportunity, but then they're not his own. But then we end up like hiring people from outside.
Do you think having a degree matters in this field of creative field of work? Because you might be one of the very few who've studied designing in this country. Does it matter, or can someone who's like feeling very creative and enjoys designing could just join in the field and give you a competition?
I don't think there's, because the popular ones like Ma'am CDK and all, they never did designing route. She told me that she did from interest. So I think having a degree is a plus point, because when it comes to color combination and silhouette and every design benegi, so I don't think some difference is measurable. It's just a plus point. And then I think when I don't think so there's a difference, because there's a lot of people who are doing without degree also. So I don't think some difference measurable. But just a little bit like when it comes to, I do my own cutting and everything lah. So yeah, from there I do my own pattern making and everything. That's how I learned.
Tailors?
Yeah, I have tailors. They only do the stitching, the cutting and everything I do lah. So I think having a little bit background is a little bit advantage normal. So even like if somebody has to modify a dress, if they bring it to me, I can keep it down and I can just imagine like, okay, if I do something like that, I think that's going to work. So I think the designing helps a bit in that. So
you've touched upon this. What kind of customers do you get? Clients,
yes. We have teenagers, women, and we have I think office working people, ladies also. They want like at the unique decos, and they want like summer jackets, embroidery maybe. And teenagers are mostly with evening gowns, birthday dresses, prom RTC prom dresses and everything. So my customers like ranges from Anila, and we just recently got a men customer who wanted to design for the bodybuilding competition. So we did for that as well. So we have different Anila. We're open to Anila, because when it comes to creativity, I don't think there's a limitation. So I think anybody can come
and you cater to individual clients and also films.
Yes, we did almost like 2 movie projects and 1 singing competition. There was a singing competition where it's called Glam and Voice, where there's glam and there's voice. So the glam part, it comes to me. We design dresses for them, and then they sing with the dresses again. So that was one of few projects we got.
What has been your proudest design?
I think first it'll be the Miss Bhutangi, and I think when Tadin Bida came forward and asked us to design a dress for her, she's one of the greatest actors in Bhutan. So I think that I was very happy to do that for her.
Let's talk about the future of Dhechen Atelier. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years?
I'll be here in Bhutan only, but then I think I'll be expanding my business. I think I'll be hiring more women staffs. Till now, I've always had women staffs. So then I'll be hiring weavers, and I think I'll be connecting to, since I'm from Bumtang, I want to do something unique with the yatha fabrics. It's too thick to make dresses and all, but I think I want to go there and figure out something how we can make dresses out of yathas, like make it like even a small pattern on the fabric anibela. So I think expanding my business so that's the future.
Before we wrap up, is there anything else you want to share? What advice would you have for young girls who are watching this conversation right now, who are aspiring to be designers in the future?
I think you should go for it. Now, Hemadi, we didn't have a lot of scope, but now, like, there's Bhutan Thimphu Fashion Week coming up, and the RTA is always organizing some competitions for designers like us. So I feel like if you want to do designing, I think you should like tell your parents that there's scope now. So I think you should just go for it. And if you guys need any help, we'll be always here for you. That's it.
You're right. This is the time. If you want to be a designer, this is the time. And not only because there's like competitions, but also the fact that I feel like Bhutanese people are a lot more experiment.
Yes.
They're experimenting with styles more, and so many people come to you personally to design their own outfits. So it's amazing. Thank you so much, Dhechen. I am so glad I got to sit next to you and talk about your journey as a designer, as an entrepreneur. I am glad that you did not say no to this interview because you were really nervous about it. But
I think get away with lying to myself.
okay.
I think a pause button. I wouldn't want to rewind anything. I think a tree house lah. I think Korean barbecue.
Okay.
I think I would go to New York to watch the New York Fashion Week. Just casual, like a baggy shirt and a loose pant and a Stan Smith shoes. Yeah, that's it. And a bag.
Thank you for your time, Dhechen. I wish you all the luck for your future endeavors and future eccentric and exciting designs. To our viewers, remember your story is a part of the greater narrative of change and progress. Until next time, keep writing.